Criminals had a great day at the Nye County Commissioner meeting on August 5th. They got 3 things accomplished. First, there will be no anti-graffiti law in Pahrump. So people who graffiti gang signs and vulgarities all over town on walls and power boxes and things, they get to keep doing it. The second thing that criminals got accomplished was no lights at Petrick Park. So they can do drugs in there, they can stab people, they can do whatever they want. There will not be any lights to expose who it is they are. And so residents won't be able to use Petrick Park because criminals will be too busy doing criminal things there. The third thing that criminals got accomplished at the August 5th meeting was to ensure that they could commit crimes at the park and in the area of the general vicinity of Walmart. Because the overtime funding, that is, extra sheriff's deputies to patrol, failed at the Nye County Commissioner meeting. Commissioners said no to $35,000 that would overtime fund specifically deputy sheriffs for that area, Petrick Park and the shopping area. Commissioners said no to $35,000 for that, but yes to renovating the Tonopah Airport. So criminals had a great day at the August 5th meeting. I'm going to show you the video so you can see it for yourself.
The current law under code requires a business owner to remove graffiti, and the penalty is handled in court. This proposed law will make a change to this procedure and gives us and the sheriff more resources to fight and stop graffiti that's growing all over our community. Here's a summary of what this law would do if passed. First, take the penalty out of the courts and give the county the ability to remedy graffiti directly and swiftly and, if necessary, take civil, not criminal action against the property owner to recover the cost. Second, set up a reward of up to $1,000 so that people who are doing the graffiti risk being turned in by their friends in order to get the reward. One of the things that I didn't want to get into here, but it's something I would like to do with this proposal, and it's written such to do this, again, moving out of the criminal arena, moving into civil, it gives us more options, and I actually intend to try where I can to do this where ourselves or set up some kind of a charitable fund. So if we can't use grant funds to go and remedy this on property, maybe we can use a charitable. I've had people offer to give me money for just what we did at the Patriot Pond. So I think that would be a nice thing to do. If you want to stop graffiti, I have a feeling me running around town painting over graffiti will stop it real quick because I don't think they're going to want to see that. But all jokes aside, it just gives us the ability to remove property owners from being considered criminals at all and moving it into a civil area for remediation.
Oh, I don't know. I know we are trying to do a great thing. I just don't like the other commissioners. We're just not sure.
What do you mean you don't like the other commissioners?
I'd like to make a motion to table this item till the next meeting so we can have an opportunity to meet with Commissioner Bayne and go through this and fix it.
Everyone up here has the same power as I do to bring forward legislation, so it's not something I have to do it for it to get done. If someone wants to fix this somehow, but typically what happens up here for everybody watching is that all the questions, there's never an answer to these questions. Questions they have questions and there's never an answer and you'll never see it again. And so that's why I don't do that. I don't play games like that. So
Commissioner Koenig made a motion to continue for September 15th. I'll second that motion.
We have a motion on the floor and a second. All those in favor?
I'm sorry, September 16th.
All those in favor of continuing signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Jabor is aye.
Aye.
I'm not an aye.
That's are you a nay?
Yeah.
We have 4 with 1 nay.
For possible action, discussion, and debate on overtime funding up to $35,000 for Nye County Sheriff's Office to be used in directed patrols.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As we discussed previously about all the stabbings going on in Petrick Park, passage of this overtime funding will allow us to direct the sheriff to station a patrol car and deputy at the park to watch over those at the park, as well as to patrol the area of Dahlia Street and the vast shopping area from Walmart up to Dairy Queen. That's my suggestion in this. Of course, he has the autonomy to alter that. I don't know the technicalities, but I trust him. This is not a perfect solution. Nothing is. We've tried using excuses to stop crime here in Pahrump for a very long time. Hasn't been working very well. So let's instead try extra patrols. I urge my colleagues for passage so that we can do something to make our parks and shopping areas just a little bit safer. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just so the public knows, there's $2.7 million in the LATCF, and we have a $1 million in, I call overtaxation, and we call a cushion, or it changes regularly. I don't know what they're calling it now, but I call it overtaxation because that's what it is. So there's $3.7 million sitting around that this could be drawn from, and then there's the other sources that have been discussed. I'm just going to make the one motion that is out there that is contingent on someone else providing an amendment to the motion to direct a funding source. So I would be done at that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Okay, commissioners, did you get that? Is anybody interested in a second?
And may I recommend there's only 1.775 million left. We did utilize some of that funding for other projects.
In my opinion, we are probably 50% staffed what we should be based on national average or norm recommended for law enforcement.
All right, since there is no funding source, I'm going to rescind my second. And I guess this motion dies.
Thank you for considering.
Thank you.
I will say that I deliberately left this open and somewhat vague so that there would be public participation by the other fellow commissioners on what they thought about this. I have genuinely lost track of how many stabbings have gone on down at Petrick Park. Keeping our lights on until 9 or 10 p.m. may cost money, but the price tag of the lost life or the danger, I don't know what that is. And I know it's inconvenience to allocate funding for this, but it's also inconvenience that people can't use their park. So these are the things that I'm weighing, and as the commissioner that represents that park, I do feel the need to try things and to at least ask about possible solutions.
Sheriff Joe McGill. First of all, personally, I am 100% in favor of this. I think it's a good idea. My advice to anybody is light up your area like the surface of the sun, and it does act as a deterrent.
I was listening to Miss Stephanie Lopez. She stated that her boys are between 18 and 23, so they're not affected by the curfew at 10 o'clock, apparently. And so we have field allocation forms that say you can allocate till 9:15, and being that we could potentially have fights, I'm not sure that the answer for Miss Lopez isn't to have a field allocation form where she's able to pay the $25 per month per field, so $25 in a security deposit, get additional insured for the town of Pahrump, and she can have lights on till or after the 9:15.
I would withdraw whatever she's about to say and make a motion to see if there's an appetite for the board to pass item 16 as written pertaining to lights on until 9 p.m. only at the basketball courts. And see if there's an appetite for that. And if there is, I may go further. If there's not, we're done here.
That motion is clear. Do we have a second? I will absolutely second that. All right, we have a motion on the floor and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. That motion fails 3-2. Basketball courts till 9 o'clock, that wouldn't be a problem.